Our market monitor tonight says that the stock market needs a solid correction, something between 7 and 9%, and that would open the way to a rally. He's Chris Bertelsen, Chief Investment Officer of Global Financial Private Capital. It's a $3 billion fund in Sarasota, Florida. So, Chris, tell us about your correction call. Why and how soon might we get one?
I think it's already started, Susie. When everybody thinks alike, watch out. At the end of 2013, everybody was saying it's great. And when it's great, it's in the market, it's usually too late. All we have to see is reports like General Mills, Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, some of the teen retailers. You'll see that we're rolling over in a lot of areas. And I think next quarter's earnings just aren't going to cut it. And as a result, we need to get the weak hands out of the market. So I see a correction starting right about now.
Chris, you call some of your choices tonight stupid cheap. But if I'd bought one of them, Intel, a few years ago, I would have been, it might have been cheap, but I'd have felt pretty stupid. Why would I be smart today?
Well, I think that Intel is a buy right now. Obviously, a few years ago, what people were worried about has already been priced in, and that's their legacy business. Sure, everybody knows that's a slow growth, no growth business. It's got a Rock of Gibraltar balance sheet. It yields 100 basis points more than the 10 years, so you're getting paid while you wait. And what you're waiting for is, I think, is exciting, and that's in the mobile and tablet business. Most of their competitors use Taiwanese foundries to manufacture their equipment, but Intel does their own, and what they are manufacturing is smaller, cheaper, faster, and cooler, and that's the name of the game. And they can already see that they're starting off with Android and Google, and eventually, who knows, they may be with Apple. So I'm looking for the stock to trade into the low 30s.
Okay, let's move on to another one of your picks, Harley-Davidson, which you say could be a baby boomer play. Tell us why you like it.
Absolutely. People say the demographics are wrong. I say 11,000 baby boomers retiring every single day. Now, all of a sudden, they have the time and the money. And what do they want? They want to ride a hog. And my view on that is that you're going to see an explosion as far as the people who want it. Plus the fact they've really restructured their manufacturing. Previously, they used to build inventory when nobody wanted to ride in the winter months. Now, all of a sudden, they've got it streamlined so they can do it in the months that they need to. So a real plus for Harley, and should trade in up 10, 15 points over the next 18 months.
Some of your stocks are high concept. This is kind of low concept. Fastenal, which makes screws and washers and all kinds of fasteners. But it's also kind of against your hypothesis because it sells at 32 times earnings. It's got a growth rate of 18%. My schooling tells me that when the PE is higher than the growth rate, you're looking for trouble.
Well, this one is an exception to the rule, but I think that what's attractive are stocks that are growing. Anybody can manufacture profits by cutting, but when you have growth, then you can get real numbers to show real numbers. And I think that we're seeing a multi-year recovery in the housing and construction business. Fastenal is worldwide, and they really have little competition because nobody wants to get into manufacture screws and bolts and nuts and hangers and things like that. So I see Fastenal as a growth value play as opposed to the other two names.
All right. Chris, do you have any disclosures to make?
Yes. The firm owns all the stocks, and I own none of them.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Chris Bertelsen of Global Financial Private Capital.